Hello and welcome back to another mini lecture on Introduction to Psychology. So for this mini lecture, we're basically going to touch on psychological research, why it's important, and some different concepts that kind of go along with psychological research. So let's start with why it's important. So basically, if somebody has an idea about how something might work, especially when we're talking about something like the brain and the mind, which we cannot always see what's happening in the brain without some kind of physiological tool, we have to be really careful about what kind of conclusions we draw. And so we do follow the scientific method. So this figure from our textbook, which again, we're using Psychology 2E, available on OpenStax. Basically, when you look at this model here, you've got a hypothesis or a general premise on the top. So basically, with this hypothesis or general premise, it's an idea that maybe a researcher has. I'm going to use an example of social media because it's sort of a hot topic right now. So let's say that just through observation and being a part of social media, or maybe someone's children, somebody might notice, oh, my children are acting different after they join social media. They might have an idea that, hey, could social media have an impact on how people are perceiving themselves or how people are perceiving the world? So there might be an idea, right? And so there's this concept of deductive reasoning or inductive reasoning. So the type of reasoning in this model, deductive reasonings are ideas that are tested in the real world. So perhaps somebody has this idea that I think social media might be impacting beliefs or thoughts of certain people or a certain population. And so they're going to test that and use an empirical observation with the scientific method to test what their idea might be. And then inductive reasoning is real world observations that might lead to new ideas. So let's say a researcher does a study on social media, and based on different surveys they do and perhaps other data they might collect, they discover, okay, well, these people that spend X amount of time on social media appear to have these different things going on when compared to a different group that doesn't use social media or maybe doesn't use social media as much. So that might lead to more ideas like, okay, well, if that's true, based on these findings, what else might be true about social media or, different topics such as cyberbullying, or how does it all play together? So it's kind of like having an idea, testing it and seeing it, is that really true based on what we're seeing here? So our text also refers to the word empirical. So scientific knowledge is empirical, meaning that it's grounded in objective, tangible evidence that can be observed time and time again, regardless of who's observing. So let's go back to this example of someone with a social media research study. However they outline their study and whatever they do, whatever survey instruments they use, or perhaps they're using other data, like how frequency of time that someone's on social media, et cetera. If somebody from another lab or somewhere else in the entire world did the same exact study with the same steps, basically the idea with an empirical study is that it could be replicated with similar outcomes to sort of be tested over time.